Well, hi everybody, it's Jeff Hopper again with Judge Tim Philpot, and we've been with you for several sessions and have a couple more to go. And this time I want to kind of drive right at the heart of what it means to be a judge, because the scripture talks about judgment being underneath, subordinate to mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. And yet when you're put in a position like you are, and I think this happens a lot of times when people are in their profession, they're called to really balance some difficult things. What the profession asks of them and what their faith asks of them, and how to put that into play in everyday life. And for you, mercy and judgment are kind of right there in front all the time, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Well, I'm in family court, so it's a little different than some settings, so I don't have to sentence people to long, awful prison sentences.
Sure.
Family court is kind of small potato stuff as far as jail goes.
Yeah, right.
6 months is usually a long sentence in family court. But when I became a judge, I began to learn a lot of things about God that I honestly had never understood before. One of those is how much pleasure it brings to the judge to have mercy on somebody.
Wow.
So, for instance, I got somebody that comes into my courtroom who is almost completely sure they're going to jail because they're $18,000 behind on their child support.
Yeah,
We
sure.
just told them last month that if they don't pay this and that, they're going to go to jail, and so they come to jail, and they haven't really paid much, and they're almost sure they're going to jail.
Yeah.
And by the time we get through talking about it, though, if we decide to have mercy on somebody again, it always feels better. And I usually say to the person, though, I said, now you need to get out of here quickly before I change my mind. But I think before I was a judge, I sort of thought it would feel good to execute judgment.
Oh,
But it really doesn't.
it doesn't.
Not really. And
You
so
thought it was going to feel good because it was so right.
it's so right. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
yeah.
It felt so right to be right.
Yeah.
But mercy does feel better than justice. So I've learned that about God. I've begun to think about God in three primary metaphors. The first one being judge. Most people begin their relationship with God thinking of Him as the great judge.
Yeah.
I'm a sinner.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. I need this judge to declare that I'm innocent, or at least have mercy on me, even though I'm not really innocent. And so we begin to realize Jesus died for me. I believe in that. I trust in that. And so the judge is going to set me free because I believe in that. But that judicial model is a terrible place to end your relationship with God, simply because there's no love in there.
Yeah.
And whereas in family metaphors, which is far better, thinking about God as your father, even better, of course, thinking about God as your bridegroom,
Wow. Yes.
thinking about God as your lover,
Yeah.
thinking about God as your husband, ideas that are bring tears to the eyes of most women and a funny look from most men, but
they apply.
But the love that's there
The
in the
heart
family
is.
kind of thinking is far superior to this whole idea of a judge, God being the judge and having mercy and judgment. It's a terrible place to finish, because what happens in the family picture is this God who is your father, or this God who is your husband, says, I love you. Come and sit in my lap. Come and be intimate with me.
Yeah.
Whereas the judge does what I do every single time. I'm having mercy on you, but you need to leave right now.
Yeah.
Get on out of here before I change my mind.
Wow.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So while this idea of God as your judge might be a good place to start, and I know there's a lot of stuff in the Bible about God as my judge, etc.,
Sure.
it's a really bad place to finish your theology. So anyway, the heart of God is for love and mercy, and love's even better than mercy, I think, as far as words go. Love is even the word love infers something a little deeper than just mercy. Mercy still kind of has this, you don't deserve it, but I'm going to let you go.
Yeah.
Whereas the love of God is way deeper than just what I think is fully comprehended in the word mercy. So I've changed my whole way of thinking about God, and I'm very thankful that I had an opportunity to be a judge all these years, because it forced me to think about a lot of this stuff.
Wow. When I go back to Bible school, I always remember, when I go back there in my mind, I always remember my favorite professor just talking about how the attributes of God are just all there, held in this balance, and yet, and so you just can't, hone in on one.
Yeah.
and say, they home in on one and say, this is it.
Yeah, yeah.
This
you
is
need,
the one.
To really have a balanced understanding of what your relationship with God is all about. You need all the metaphors.
That's right.
You need them all.
You
You
need
need
them
all
all.
the words. You need all the thoughts. And at the end of the day, the one that needs to trump them all is love.
Is love. Yeah,
love, and the
love,
idea
yeah.
that He wants to be married to us. You know, the big question that I'm trying to ask people now, that I believe that God is asking all of us, is not, will you trust me? That's a good one. Not just, will you follow me? That's a
Yeah.
good one. But even better than that is, will you marry me?
Wow.
Will you marry me? And a lot of people are willing to trust and follow, but they're not really quite ready to marry God.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother relationship.
Wow, that's big time. That's
Yeah.
a big thing to think about.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tim.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.